we've got a pretty major update on the rumors of Shane McMahon to AEW, as it looks like Shane was recently spotted with two major AEW acts, leading to speculation that Shane could join All Elite Wrestling imminently. We're going to tell you everything we know about the meeting, this situation, what it could mean for Shane, and why you shouldn't be surprised if or when he shows up in AEW. We're also going to talk about former AEW World Champion, I should say, Swerve Strickland, taking a little bit of a shot at WWE. We're going to talk about what he had to say. We're also going to get into some AEW contract news, everything you need to know right here in this video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. All right, let's first talk about Shane McMahon. There was the meeting between himself and Mercedes Moné after it was speculated there was apparently interest with AEW and Shane McMahon. That then led to a meeting for the first time ever between Tony Khan and Shane McMahon, that infamous, very blurry photo of them meeting in the meeting room of an airport. And now we have part 3, potentially one of the final acts to this insane story. Shane McMahon at JFK Airport just the day after AEW Grand Slam, taking a photo with the Young Bucks, but that's not all they did. It is a report out now. There is, I should say, a report out now via the good people over at Cultaholic, who have said the following. A source who was on the flight told Cultaholic that the Bucks and Shane McMahon were both on the 6:29 a.m. Eastern flight from New York City's JFK International Airport to Salt Lake City, Utah, which is a popular destination for flights connecting to California. The source further revealed that the Bucks and Shane McMahon were seen speaking and laughing together prior to boarding the plane. Shane was sat in the row directly behind the Young Bucks in first class, although McMahon claimed it was just a coincidence that he and Nick Jackson were on the same flight. McMahon and the Bucks didn't interact much during the flight, with AEW World Tag Team Champions spending most of their journey sleeping. The flight landed around 9 a.m. Mountain Time, and the three individuals ended up waiting back after the plane landed, presumably to take the photo with each other. Again, courtesy of the good folks over at Cultaholic. I'm going to say it, and I want to be clear. I don't know whether Shane McMahon is going to be appearing at Wrestle Dream or any of these shows coming up. But what I will say is there's a lot of coincidences happening. There seem to be a lot of coincidences happening, and there seems to be a lot of publicizing these coincidences. I've gone over this before. Tony Khan, you've had the Young Bucks now, you've had Mercedes Moné, all have run-ins at airports with Shane McMahon. Look, I 100% buy the idea that Shane McMahon is someone who travels from California to New York and in between. And that's where Mercedes and him met up in New York. They were both at LaGuardia. This is where where Shane McMahon and the Young Bucks had met up. Totally get that. Very well could be a coincidence. Now, Tony Khan and Shane McMahon, that's a whole different story. Allegedly, that was their first meeting. Allegedly, that was the first time that they'd ever done anything like that. And allegedly, according to Tony Khan, he said, we were just talking. But he does it with that Tony Khan smile that there's something up. And here's the thing about Tony. He's been very good in the past, if you read him and kind of look at what's happened over the last few years. When he knows he has something in the pocket, he doesn't explicitly say no. But when he knows that the fans are expecting something, or he knows that, the fans are getting hyped about something, and he knows he can't deliver to that amount, he's going to temper those expectations. From the photo getting out, which I don't think anyone believes that the photo between himself and Tony Khan getting out was a coincidence. From that photo getting out to all these photos and all these meetings of Shane and Mercedes and the Young Bucks now, it is becoming, to me, less and less likely that this is mere coincidence and more likely that, they kind of know what they're doing. And look, the Bucks a couple of years ago, like, this was their MO. Get everyone talking, get everyone hyped, get everyone on the internet, a buzzing about what they're doing. And, that very well could be the case here. Who knows? But with the fact that they are, the EVPs of this company now, and the fact that they understand what they're doing here. And look at the smile on Shane, by the way. I just look at the smile on this man. Like, he three very naughty boys there. That's what that is. Three very naughty boys who know exactly what they're doing, who know exactly what's about to happen. It's like when Drew took that picture with Jack Perry, and you could tell, both individuals there were very proud of themselves of what they accomplished in that moment. Jack Perry was like, "Oh yeah, this is funny." Like, I'm getting big energy of that in this. So, look, we will see. I believe, and this has been my bold prediction ever since the Shane talk first started. I think World's End is when it's going to happen. And I think that is going to be a seismic shift, because I do think that this is in some way going to play into the Elite versus Tony Khan or AEW story. I do think that's where they're going with this. Now, that being said, I wouldn't expect Shane to show up imminently. But ratings are ratings, man. You never know what's going to happen. But I do think, the new year coincides with this streaming deal, potentially with the new TV rights deal kicking in, all that stuff. I think that would be, in my view, World's End is right at the end of the year. You go into your next TV, your first TV on this new contract, very hot. And I think that's what they could do. But what do I know? I am just a mere mark in this very, very smarky world. Guys, let me know in the comments section what you think. But before you do that, I want to get a word in from our new sponsors over at SeatGeek. Guys, SeatGeek is one of the best sports ticketing apps out there. I use them myself. And you have an exclusive opportunity here from Real Takes Wrestling to get $20 off your first purchase. $20 off your first purchase when you sign up with SeatGeek. Links in the description below. Use the code REALTAKE. $20 off first purchase of SeatGeek when you download the app and use the promo code REALTAKE. If you're headed to Wrestle Dream, if you're headed to World's End eventually, if you're headed to Bad Blood like I am, you know damn well with those WWE ticket prices, that $20 is going to mean a lot. SeatGeek ranks and scores their tickets from a 0 to 100 score on each ticket, so you know if you're getting a good or bad deal. It is really one of the best ways to buy your tickets. I would go and check out the link in the description, promo code REALTAKE, which allows me enough time to segue into our next topic. Let's talk about the AEW World Champion, or former AEW World Champion, Swerve Strickland, who was talking some smack, on the Breakfast Club. First of all, I woke up this morning and I realized that Swerve Strickland was on the Breakfast Club. That was an insane thing for me. Shout out to Swerve for getting that. I love that. I thought it was a fantastic interview. But Swerve Strickland was on the Breakfast Club, and many people believe that he took an indirect, or pretty direct in my view, shot at WWE. Here's what he had to say.
Heard anybody complain that somebody got too much money. That's what they said earlier.
Well, they only complain when a black person gets paid. I will say that when it gets paid. Yeah. And that's what, once again, we shake the foundation and things like that, because it's like, oh, snap, wait. And it's not what we would pay. I'm like, then why are you calling me? Why are you asking me?
Right.
You know, like if I'm not your concern, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about my pockets and our money. We good. Like you have your talent, and you made your decision with me 2 years ago. No hard feelings from me. Boom, I keep it moving. I'm gonna figure my way out, and I'm gonna build myself up.
Is it true they tried to re-sign you? WWE?
Yeah.
So Swerve Strickland actually dropping confirming two big bombshells here. Number one, responding to the report that was out there, or many reports that were out there, that WWE were very unhappy with the contract offers that he got, and Daniel Garcia also allegedly got in their negotiations with AEW. There were reports that they felt like Swerve Strickland was overpaid, that AEW was saturating the market or whatever and inflating it. And Swerve's direct response to that was, you only get mad when black people get paid, which, look, it is well reported and I think well documented, I should say. It's not well reported by many outlets. Or as many outlets as probably should be, that, there obviously for a very long time in professional wrestling has been not only a discrepancy in the way that, black and white athletes in wrestling have been viewed, but also in the pay, obviously. And there's a long history there. And I think Swerve Strickland in the modern era has been one of these guys where it's been so cool to see his rise and so cool to see like the natural rise of Swerve Strickland and the impact it's had on like wrestling fans everywhere. And then for the report to come out that, he got overpaid or whatever, when this guy is someone who came in 2 years ago after getting cut and thrown out on his butt and worked his ass off to become the undeniable face of this company this year. There's been no one in AEW, even Will Ospreay, there's been no one who has had better matches on a more consistent basis than Swerve Strickland. You look from Revolution till now, you can't name anyone. Ospreay's the only guy there, and even then, Swerve saw him. Swerve matched that energy, and I'd argue Swerve Strickland in their match. I'd argue that Swerve Strickland came out looking amazing and better than many people thought he would against Will Ospreay. And in my view, I thought, like, again, it's like comparing like two of the greatest ever or whatever in a match. I thought Swerve came out looking like, he led that match. It felt like he controlled that match. And all that aside, right? That's just BS, right? And it's just like speculation talking. But all that aside, this is someone who's validated themselves. This is someone who's validated their run. It's someone who's validated the money that was offered him. WWE is the most profitable wrestling company on the face of this earth. They are making more money than they ever have. Scrooge McDuck got nothing on WWE. They have basically an infinite bank account at this point. And they are complaining that AEW is paying wrestlers, that they are inflating the market. It's always come across as BS. At the end of the day, these wrestlers put their bodies on the line for us. At the end of the day, these wrestlers throw themselves at the ground, hurt each other, get hurt for our enjoyment and entertainment. So, excuse me if I'm like, just pay them. Just pay him. Like, at the end of the day, even the amount of money the Swerve is getting, it's probably not even close to his real worth. That's just how capitalism works. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it works. But at the end of the day, it's a good thing for the industry if Swerve Strickland. It's a good thing for other wrestlers if Swerve Strickland's getting paid. The other thing that he did note that a bit hypocritical of WWE when you think about it is there was a report a couple of years ago that WWE allegedly reached out to a former talent of theirs who was now signed with AEW and tried to contract tamper. Tony Khan went off on a pretty big rant about it. It was the same press conference as the all-out gripe bomb that CM Punk cut. And it was later reported that talent who WWE tried to contact was Swerve Strickland, and Swerve seemed to have confirmed that in this interview here with the Breakfast Club. So, to me, that's pretty big in that confirmation. And, like, he's right. You guys had your chance 2 years ago. And Swerve did everything to prove them wrong. And it's okay. Like I mean, okay is whatever. But, like, it is what it is. Move on. WWE has so many stars. They have so many athletes. It is what it is. You missed out on a guy. You missed out on a bona fide stud and a bona fide star. And it happens. AEW has missed out on those guys. WWE will continue to miss out on those guys. Everyone's going to do it. You just can't worry about it after it's happened, especially after he's getting paid. And it's a good thing Swerve got paid. That means there's going to be more wrestlers in the future getting paid higher wages, higher salaries. And when you're talking about a profession like professional wrestling where you don't know how long your career is going to be, you don't know if this next match is going to be your last, every dollar, every cent is even more important. That's just the fact of the matter. So, shout out to Swerve standing up for himself. A few quick notes here. I'm going to try to do these more often, but we got, according to Fightful Select, Saraya has re-signed with AEW. There's a lot of speculation earlier this year about her contract status, whether or not she was going to leave AEW. Well, it looks like we can dispel that idea because according to FightfulSelect.com, she has re-signed. We also have a quick update. Raj Giri of formerly the founder of Wrestling Inc., has reported that Malachi Black's deal could be up sooner than we think. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about that in the comments. I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think about Swerve's comments about WWE. Let me know what you guys think about Shane McMahon. When will Shane McMahon show up in All Elite Wrestling? Will he show up? Is it all a work? I want to hear from you. And also remember to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.